Hello, everyone, and welcome to our first topic for Research 1 Quarter 1. So, to give you an idea first of what research is, as a student who is enrolled in the STE or the Science Curriculum Program, you're expected to complete Research 1, 2, 3, and 4 from grade 7 up to grade 10. So, the researchers or all students of STE will be researchers, and a researcher is no different than a scientist. So, to give you an idea, yung mga research po na nakompleto na or na-achieve ng mga natapos na sa STE curriculum or the STE program were recognized not just in within the city or in the region, but even in the national level. So we have another research which was recognized in the region that won top two. It's entitled Plastic Bottle as Window Glass Replacement by Elvin Jane Morales. So marami tayong mga researches which are recognized. These are just some are simple studies only, but they have that significant contribution in the community. That's why it's being recognized. So it's not just a competition, but these are inventions or innovations which are significant or may silbi in the community. So not just these two researchers, we also have other researchers. For example, during the Kalibungan Festival, yung pinakalas na kalibungan natin, the top top 1 SIP was also from Kidapawan City National High School. It was the Antipolo Tree Sap as adhesive by Domes Cabrera, Russell Gantuangco, and Jude Mapa. So this is a very simple study also, but their study was recognized because of its significant contribution, of course, in the field of engineering. Then also, even in DepEd's competition, regional competition, we have researches which were recognized. For example, the automated helmet, an invention of Gian Ruvel de Binosa, was recognized under the individual category as the top 1 innovation project STE. So let us start. Most of you don't have a background about research yet kasi hindi siya included as one of your subjects from grade 1 to grade 6. So let us discuss first, what is research? Most of you might consider research that when we say what is research, you would say research in the internet or research in the books. Yes, okay, partly it is the definition of research. So etymologically, or by the origin of the word, research means to go about seeking, to seek. What would you seek? Why would you seek? Ibig sabihin yan, you have some questions in your mind. And research also is a creative work that is conducted to increase a stock of knowledge. It could be that you already know something and you want to improve that or increase your knowledge about something, so as to devise new applications to create something that is useful in the community or for the improvement of the life of humanity, then that is research. Okay, so research also can be projects or research includes the creation of projects that can be used to develop or to further a topic. For example, is that for students, you are required to have your research, and this research could be your motivation someday on the different careers that you want. So, for example, marami kayong mga nagiging estudyante that because of their research projects, they were motivated to enroll in medicine or medical courses, or it could be in engineering courses. It is because through research, their knowledge was they were become inspired of the different topics that they encountered or the different topics that they indulge in their projects. So research also are conducted to test a validity of something. So for example, the recently a country endorsed a specific vaccine, but of course we are not We should not be lenient, just like what happened in Dingvaxia before, na ginamit siya sa mga na estudyante or sa mga Filipino as a free vaccine, but it has side effects. So, yung sa ngayon naman, yung para sa COVID that was being endorsed by other country na vaccine, of course, we can't just use it desperately. We have to test its validity, and that is through research. We have to conduct series of experiments and procedures to determine, of course, if it is really effective or valid. So that's the function of research. But of course, if you want to conduct research, there should be some attitudes that you have to possess. So it includes these attitudes. This was also presented in your module. These are the attitudes of a good scientist. So let's discuss this one by one. So first is curiosity. Curiosity is the desire to learn or know more about something. So for example, you have some questions in your mind. Why is it red? Why is it not black? Why should we use this disposable mask and not the washable mask? Why do we have to wear face mask? Okay, topics like that. Or it could be simple topics that why is the plant here growing fast and then the other plant inside the house is not. Okay, those are questions, simple questions or questions that we want to answer. And this brings out curiosity in a person and the desire for you to learn or know more about something is actually a very good attitude for a scientist. So, dyan yan siya nagsisimula sa curiosity ng isang tao. Then, next is intellectual honesty, the quality of being fair and truthful in dealing with the research data and the use of information. So, intellectual honesty, for example, you have conducted an experiment. Gamitin natin yung experiment about plants. You are curious, why is it that a plant sa loob ng bahay is iba ang tubo niya kumpara doon sa plant na nasa labas ng bahay? So, what you did was you conducted an experiment. You try to record the height of the plant, the number of leaves, and others. So, when we say intellectual honesty, walang bias po, walang falsification. Okay? So, ibig sabihin yan, kung ano man yung data na na-collect mo, you are not going to falsify that. Now, there are some researchers kasi ang nangyari is that gusto nila, kung curious sila, then meron na silang binubuong sagot doon sa isip nila. Kaya ang ginagawa nila, they falsify the data, nawawala na yung intellectual honesty, and then para lang na ang lumabas doon sa experiment nila or na result is that yung answer na nasa isip nila. So that is not intellectual honesty. So we have questions, and once we want answers through experiments, whatever is the result of experiments, we have to accept that. We cannot just falsify data. Then another is also about intellectual honesty. We cannot just claim something that is not ours. For example, if it is ideas of other people, then acknowledge it as their ideas. Don't say that it's my research alone. Nobody helped me. It's quite impossible. Probably there was your teacher. Probably there was your parent who helped you. So acknowledge the intellect of other people which contributed in your study. Then another is critical mindedness, careful judgment about the data gathered or information used in the study. So for example, balik tayo doon sa example, yung plants na gistudihan mo, you have the question, why iba ang kanilang tubo? That's curiosity. Then second is intellectual honesty, you gather data, okay, fairly. Kung morning ang data sa plant na nandoon sa loob ng bahay, morning din na data. Kung ilang data ang ginamit, kung height of plant lahat, different plants pero pareho, they are being recorded, okay, honestly. Critical mindedness now is a careful judgment of the data that you have gathered. So, for example, you have your data there, nakalagay doon na ang plant sa loob ng bahay is mataas, pero ang iyahang leaves, 5 lang kabuok. Then, ang plant naman doon sa labas ng bahay is mataas din, pero ang iyahang leaves masyadong malabong, so you should have a critical judgment or analysis which plant really grows best. It could be through, of course, conducting or having or subjecting your data into statistics, or it could be an analysis, a thorough analysis that is critical minded. Or it could be that in your experiment, you have some different procedures. Try to analyze bakit naging mali, bakit itong isa successful. So with that, you can revise your procedure, have a critical analysis of the different procedures that you have. So it is very important, of course, for us to come up with a correct result for our study. Then next, open-mindedness. We have to acknowledge that we don't own all the knowledge in the world. It could be that I am talking to you here, having my lecture. However, you know more about the topic than me. Okay? So, hindi natin yan siya pwedeng pigilan na may mga tao talagang mas magaling at mas matalino kaysa sa atin. So, we should have an open mind to consider, of course, ideas from different people or sources. Or it could be not from other people. Kapag mag-conduct ka na ng experiment mo, have an open mind na it could be may i-improve pa yung research mo. May pwede ka pang gawin to improve your study or the data that you have. So that's open-mindedness. Okay, it's not just limited to, of course, other people's idea, but also being open to yourself for some changes that you are going to discover in your study. Then next is being skeptical. Being skeptical is quite similar sa curiosity. However, the difference is that being skeptical means you are going to doubt the truth of something. Sa curiosity, you are trying to find out answers for a specific question. You have a problem or a concern and you want an answer. That's curiosity. Skepticism naman, you learned something. For example, doon sa experiment mo, you learned already na mas maganda ang tubo ng tanim kapag nasa labas ng bahay. However, you could doubt. Okay? Try to doubt. Baka naman merong something unfair in your setup. Baka naman ang plant na nasa labas ng bahay na ginamit mo is mas matanda na yun siya, and whereas bagong tanim lang yung nasa loob ng bahay. Diba? It could be a factor. Okay? Be skeptical with your data. Always ask question. Okay? Always ask question as to, is it acceptable? Is it correct? Is it not? Okay? So, yun siya yung difference ng skepticism sa curiosity. Again, skepticism, you have to doubt. Even though you're the one who conducted the experiment, try to doubt, is it correct, is it not? So that you can find ways to improve. Whereas curiosity, you are asking questions about something, or you are longing for an answer to a specific problem or a question. So it's actually quite similar, but they are different. Then next, objectivity. Basing on facts rather than feelings or opinions. You should not be influenced by feelings here. For example, that sabihin mo, tama lagi ni I know, I have a feeling. Kasi ganyan talaga yung nangyayari eh. Pag meron tayong isang gustong pag-aralan, di ba kung may question kayo na, bakit parang mas maganda ang tubo ng tanim doon sa labas ng bahay? Meron ka ng sagot. Because we have ideas. We have prior knowledge. Okay? But we have to be objective, of course. We cannot just assume. It should be based on the data. Sometimes we have our own answer already to the different questions. Kung minsan nga sa klase, di ba? Kahit na alam na natin ang sagot, meron pa rin magtataas ng kamay, Ma'am, what is this? What is this? Alam naman nila yung sagot. Okay, just something. But, however, when we say objectivity is that we have to believe what is factual. Hindi yung based on opinion lang. So, let us consider another example with the situation that we have nowadays. There are some rumors, okay? Yung mga sinasabi na, baka a COVID could be airborne. Hindi pala yan siya by direct contact. Okay? So, of course, you have to believe according to what was factual. Maniwala po kayo kung ano yung ipinresenta sa atin na merong ebidensya. Yan yung term actually. Being objective means to believe what is true based on evidences. Of course, without evidence in research, actually, it's not true. Maybe, okay, it's debatable. However, when we say you are objective, you have to base it on facts, not just on your opinions or feelings. Actually, superstitions pala is actually not factual. Okay, so researchers, scientists, though we respect superstitions culture, part of our culture is that, but superstitions should not influence research data. We have to be objective, of course. The next, perseverance, very important. It's not easy to conduct a study. You are going to fail, you're going to succeed, then you found out you failed actually. Okay? So, being or having that attitude of perseverance, it gives you yung parang inspiration. Yung isang tao, isang researcher is still inspired to learn more and more, although it's quite difficult, it's quite tiring already. Okay, meron talaga yan siya. Sometimes napapagod tayo, but as a scientist, of course, just imagine what would happen if our researchers, if our scientists at present with their desire to of course combat COVID, for example, if our researchers don't have this perseverance, what would happen? Okay, so we will be hoping for nothing. So as for you also, for simple questions that we want to be answered, you should persevere. Of course, if you are not going to persevere, you are not going to have answers to your questions. Then you would remain asking hanggang sa, okay, probably somebody would tell you na lang the answer. Okay? Then, of course, those are the different attitudes of a scientist. And it is expected for you to be a scientist someday also when you have completed your SIP. But aside from the students that I'd mentioned, there are a lot of scientists which has contributed, of course, for the betterment of life. Marami tayong mga Filipino scientists, even Jose Rizal, of course, is a scientist. Archimedes and his discovery on the irregularity of solid shape, volume of, naalala nyo yung Eureka, okay, ni Archimedes, di ba? Then, next, also, we have Thomas Alva Edison in your module, the story of Thomas Edison and how he discovered tungsten in our incandescent light, I mean. So, it's actually one of the very good example that anyone can be a scientist. So, all of these names mentioned here started from simple beginnings. Let us go back to Thomas Edison. When he was young, actually, he used to sit on a nest of eggs, okay, and thinking that, of course, he could hatch the egg. It's quite funny, of course, ma-hatch ba yung egg? Of course, what do you expect would happen pagka inupuan nyo yung itlog ng manok, di ba? But this is just an example that anyone can be a scientist. You can start simple questions, just have those attitude of a scientist, and then all of that, okay, hindi nyo lang mamamalayan, when you grow up, all of this will help you to contribute something, a project that may make your life better and also the life of other people. So, question now is that, do you get what it takes to be a scientist? So, of course, we are here to help you, and in your research subject, we will be dealing more about research and, of course, molding you to be a scientist someday. So, I hope that you learned something from our video in this topic. And of course, this is just the first topic. You are going to learn more and more about research all throughout the school year. So that's all for now, and have fun answering your module, the different activities that are given to you there. And this is Mom Jag again. If you have some questions, you can post it in our group chat and also in the in our Google class. And I'm leaving you this message again. As always, let us continue living a happy life. No worries, whatever we're facing now, Hakuna Matata. And ang importante, buhi and happy. Have fun, everyone!